Namaste, my name is Anisha and I'm the co-founder at Language Curry along with Vatsala and Puneet, who you'll be seeing shortly. Before I take a deep dive into what we are building and the company, let me tell you a short story about how the idea behind Language Curry came about. I was 10 when I moved to Gujarat from Delhi, and I had to take Gujarati as a course. And I, being a good student, I did miserably in Gujarati. I just couldn't pick it up the way it was taught traditionally through the script. In my early days, I also made some great friends who were Gujarati. And that's when I started speaking in Gujarati by learning through them. And that's also when I started to do better in my Gujarati language too. I was 17 when we moved to Canada with my parents. And that's when I saw a different facet of people trying to connect to India and the Indian culture. I always tell people that you get more patriotic when you move out of the country, and that's what happened to me. My parents were very strict about not leaving our culture, not forgetting our roots, and I saw many Indians as well as non-Indians trying to connect to India, and language is usually the first connect, and there wasn't any platform that united Indian languages and culture at that point in time. That's what sparked sparked the idea of Language Curry back then. I moved back to India in 2011 to do my MBA from ISB Hyderabad. Post my MBA, I joined Pearson Education and I was in the corporate strategy department and also led new growth products for the company. That's where I met Puneet, and we used to share startup ideas, and Language Curry kept coming back, and we both were equally passionate about it. It's an established fact that India is being looked at as an economic superpower. But what's also coming about is people are looking at India as a global soft power. People are attracted towards India for things like Ayurveda, Sanskrit. Globally, are learning Indian languages for reasons like relationships, culture. Culture is a huge one here, and that's why Sanskrit is the second most learned language on the app. Also, for urban migration, people are moving to new cities for work or travel or school and want to learn to be more confident in the city and also connect to the locals. As well as expat and business travel. Expat travel is growing at a rate of almost 40% year over year in India. And also children. Children are learning Indian languages, and the government is given a huge push to Indian language learning recently with the newly launched National Education Policy, which will mandate learning a third regional language as part of the curriculum. And counting for all these segments, the market size for Indian language learning comes to around $10 billion USD. So given our idea, our passion, and the great market for Indian languages, we launched Language Curry in 2019. And since then, we've come a long way. We've learned a lot. Our app has improved. We launched with 4 languages. Now we have 7. Hindi, Sanskrit, and Kannada are the top 3 most learned languages. We have over 550,000 downloads from over 176 countries. India, of course, is the largest country because that's where we've spent most of the marketing money. But the love from 176 odd countries have come organically through us, through our social media marketing, influencer network, as well as word of mouth. Our DAU and MAU stand at around 6,000 and 55,000, and we are rated 4.4 on the Play Store. Currently, we monetize the app through our live sessions. The app is free. You can learn any language for free through the gamified approach. But if you want to take a session with a live expert, which can be one-on-one or a group session, you have to pay. These live sessions were launched in April 2020, and last year we made a revenue of around 30 lakhs. We've had over 800 learners join us for these live sessions organically. We haven't spent marketing money on acquiring live learners. And we launched with Sanskrit, and currently we have moved to 3 more languages for the live sessions. The repeat rate for these live sessions is around 30%. When people do join us for advanced classes or ancillary courses.
Namaste, my name is Vatsala. I handle content as well as finance at Language Curry. I'm a 2007 batch chartered accountant, and I started my career with Standard Chartered Bank, where I was in the corporate banking division handling the middle market segment. I started off as an analyst, and I left StanChart in 2015 as an associate director, where I was in relationship management, and I was doing a lot of cross-border transactions, including overseas acquisitions and all. Post that, I started an L&D firm, which was up-tiering solutions, basically towards upskilling and soft skilling the mid-market employees of companies. And the reason I joined Language Curry was personal. So I'm a Marwari, who does not know her mother tongue. And right now, I'm very proud to say that there are thousands of people like me who are connecting to their families within India as well as outside, learning their mother tongue and just making themselves and their families very happy. What really sets us apart from the competition is our very clear focus on marrying Indian languages as well as the culture. We actually spent 1.5 years just researching the reasons why people are learning languages, specifically Indian languages, and we got to know that the bottom line, the main reason to learn an Indian language is to connect to people, whether it's your boss, whether it's your colleague, whether it's your friend, or even the family that you're marrying into. Which is why culture not only enhances language curry's pedagogy, it also makes learning a lot of fun. And this is where we stand apart from the other competition. And the second aspect is that we don't profess to teach you textbook language, which global peers such as Duolingo or Rosetta Stone are teaching. We are teaching you colloquial language, the way people actually speak, the way locals speak is our tagline. And the third learning that we got with our research was that the main purpose for people to learn a language, maximum people want to learn a language to be able to communicate. And reading and writing might not be a mandatory thing for them. Which is why we said, let's remove the hassle of learning a script. Let's start learning from a language that you already know. So because of this, we ensured that you can start talking in your favorite language from the first chapter itself. And the most favorite part about Language Curry and what sets us apart is the localization. While the apps, such as Duolingo or the others, are focusing on standardized content, as in the way they'll teach Spanish is similar to the way they'll teach Hindi, for example. With us, we are a completely Indian-focused app, and each language has a very uniqueness to it, and we ensure that the learners not only learn to love the language, but also the people speaking it. And that therein things like localization help. Just to give you an example, that not only do we tell you that that in Hindi sister is called Behen or Didi, we do warn you that not to call middle-aged women Behenji, or they might take offense. And this is the things like these, the relevance of our content, the images that we use, that make it a very Indian, a very unique app. And this actually is the reason why people are already comparing us to the global brands and recommending us over them. Language Curry is very proud to say that we are a user-first brand, and most of our product features and rollouts are basis our unique insights into the consumers and their feedback. So we kind of deep dived into the reasons why people are loving Language Curry so much. And the first reason that came up was that we actually simplify language learning. And believe you me, that is really not an easy task. While we're very confident of our linguists who kind of prepare the content, the trick lies in making that content very simple for non-natives to start understanding the language and using it from the go itself. The second bit, our secret sauce, is our cultural insights. We ensure that one, you start loving the language that you're learning, as well as second, you start loving the people who are speaking that language. From the whys of namaste to bhangra, to the fact that in Kannada you can get away with saying hey maga, or why Anna and Akar are the way strangers are being addressed. We kind of cover it all at Language Curry. And the more practical things, the images that we have, the audios that we have, or the phrases that are very relevant and contextual to India. To give you an example, a user told us that Duolingo teaches Hathi mez par baitha hai. and she actually asked that how and where am I going to use that phrase. Cut to us, we give you things like bank कब खुलेगा और मुझे ये नहीं अच्छा लग रहा, नमक और चाहिए. And this actually makes language learning more fun as well as relevant to people who are using it, prompting them to use it more and more. And this is a very special for us, our influencer love. So most of our live learning has been unpaid, and our out of India downloads are actually organic, and this has been primarily because of the influencers who kind of market us with no monetary compensation at all. So be it somebody who's learned Sanskrit from us, he's propagating us, or an urban migrant who's moved to a different town and she's learning a new language, this just spreads the love for our brand. So last year, we actually saw a new segment coming up in Language Curry, which was the children segment. Children and their parents are getting more aligned to the Indian culture, specifically Sanskrit, and right now children contribute around 20% of our paid learners. This is the tweet that I had earlier spoken about, where Rajan actually mentioned Language Curry, and we're really very proud of that. The first funding for Language Curry happened last year through the Rebalance Angel community. We were a part of Rebalance's first accelerator program cohort, and that had participation from people from Chandigarh Angel Network, as well as notable angels such as Romit Chanana, Lloyd Mathias, as well as the Bollywood singer Sukhbir Singh. And earlier this year, we were very fortunate to have a bridge round funding, which was done solely by our learners, of which we are very proud. And then we were talking to Rajan Anandan from Sequoia, and he told us that he hasn't heard of brands getting funding from their users. And personally for us, that is the big validation for us as well.
Hello everyone, I am Puneet Singh, co-founder of Language Curry. I have 20 years of experience in education sector alone. I'm an MBA from SP Jain. I worked with companies like CL Educate, TeamLease and Pearson Education. In Pearson, the last job I was business unit head for a test preparation business, where I took care of entire revenue, product and other aspects of the business. This is where in Language Curry I take care of partnership, strategy and other divisions. As far as the roadmap is concerned, in next 6 months we are bringing new features as well as modules in Language Curry app, and that is where we feel that there is a huge scope of growth. In coming 2 months we are adding the gamification part in various modules. Soon we are launching we are adding 3 languages like Telugu, Malayalam and Bengali. In Telugu market, you know that in USA market is a huge scope. So each and every language has brought a new sphere of segment in India as well as abroad. After this, we are in the month of October, we are adding hybrid learning, as well as we will be introducing our freemium model for monetization. In December, we will be introducing AI-based learning. In the month of March 2022, we will be adding learning Indian languages through foreign language directly, where anyone can learn from Hindi to Chinese or Chinese to Hindi directly. In the month of October next year, we will be introducing our Language Curry Kids, a K-12 app for children, and that is where we feel that it is the next 12 to 18 months are very exciting. As far as go-to-market is concerned, in the next 18 months, we have 7 more languages to add. We have new markets to expand, whether it is Europe for Sanskrit, Hindi, or if we take American market for our Punjabi, Telugu and Hindi market, even including Canada, we found there is a huge scope, and this is where we would like to tap the opportunity. So going ahead, if I look at the targets are concerned, at this moment we are at 5 lakh download or 0.5 million downloads, and we're targeting 3.5 million downloads by the next year, March 2022. If I look at the 5-year targets, we are having very ambitious target of reaching to 64 million downloads, and this is where our revenue also will become almost like 50x in next 5 years from 2 crore we're targeting 100 plus years.
Our ask is 4 crores for a pre-money valuation of 13 crores. Out of this, 2.5 crores is coming from venture capitalists and 1 crore from IN. So with venture catalyst, our documentation is on, and we are aiming for call for money in the next 2 weeks. And with IN, we've signed the term sheet and our pitch is next week.